Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Gruzbee, and today I'll be talking about the recent anime series, Azur Lane Slow Ahead. Before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone to hold all of the questions and comments until after the video, and I'll respond to them as soon as possible. Azur Lane Slow Ahead is a sequel to the 2019 animated series Azur Lane, produced by Biberi Animation Studios and based on the popular mobile game by Shanghai Manju and Jiamin Yongxi. Unlike its first season, this second installment of the series is something of a departure from the previous show, where Azur Lane previously had a full-length episode season complete with a story arc and depicted the fight between the factions of the world. Slow Ahead is more of a side story that takes place within the world of Azur Lane and doesn't feature fighting or warfare of any sort. In fact, it is safe to assume that the entirety of the second season is a slice-of-life episodic show that features weekly guest appearances by the various ship personifications. Additionally, the second season is not comprised of full-length episodes. Instead of the usual 22 to 24-minute runtime, the series is instead 12 episodes of approximately 8 minutes. While I did initially find this particular runtime off-putting and certainly a departure for the anime franchise, the limitations of 8-minute episodes are relatively appropriate for the type of narration and storytelling that this season is encapsulating. While the whole second season seems to be focused on the daily adventures of Laffy, Javelin, Z23, and Ayanami, the uniqueness of the format allows for more appearances from the other series characters per episode. I think it's important to mention that one of my particular issues with the first season was with the lack of characters featured in the series, as well as the confusion over the choices of the producers for which characters would be the leading roles. While I am personally not a fan of Laffy, Javelin, or Ayanami, I am still content with the show's attempts at bringing more of the catalog of characters from the game into the narrative, even if it is for a small walk-on part. It is also worth mentioning that unlike the previous season, the overall ecchi content has been greatly toned down. While there are a few moments of partial nudity, it is unlike that which was featured in the first season. As for the reasons that this new season departed from these things from one season to the next can only be speculated. It may be that the producers felt it necessary to create a more general audience feel to the series for this more slice-of-life adaptation. Whatever the case, some viewers may find the differences jarring or welcoming. As for the connections to the previous season, there really isn't one to be had. At no point does the viewer need to watch Azur Lane's first season to understand or appreciate this second season. It would, however, be beneficial for the viewer to be at least somewhat familiar with the game content and the various characters. As I pointed out in an article discussing Season 1, I personally find the necessity of familiarizing oneself with the game content the biggest, greatest shortcoming of the series as a whole. At no point was the series established with a proper backstory, and what little information was exposited to the audience was minimal at best. However, if the viewer can overcome these setbacks, I find that the season is far superior to the first. Obviously, this will be a point of debate and is entirely my own opinion. When taken together with the first season, Azur Lane is a very messy and confusing bit of anime, a show that will primarily appeal only to the fans of the game, and one that will leave the audience with more questions than actual answers. If the anime has succeeded in one thing, it's bringing in a lot of new players to the mobile game. Many times while streaming, I'll encounter a new player that came on board as a direct result of the anime. There's no denying the appeal of a gacha game that features hundreds of beautiful ship girls, and there is no denying the power of a fandom that enjoys seeing their favorite characters on the screen. I myself was overjoyed at finally seeing a few of my favorite waifus as they appeared randomly from episode to episode, and while I no doubt would have preferred to see more of the stuff I liked, I will have to settle for what I got. Azur Lane Slow Ahead is one odd duck of an anime season. It's not one that will appeal to many viewers, but where it lacks in some things, it does make up for in others, even if we will never fully understand how Big Belfast and Little Belchan can both appear on screen at the same time. Oh, that really hurts my head to think about. If you are a fan of the game and have had reservations about the series, then I can safely say that this season may be more appealing. If you are looking for a rich and sweeping narrative with lots of action, suspense, or even a point to the whole thing, well, this might not be for you. It is, after all, a harem anime about anthropomorphic ship girls. If you are interested in giving this second season a watch, you can find it available for streaming over at Crunchyroll. If you'd like to watch the mobile game in action, you can see me stream it on my Twitch channel along with other games. There is a link in the description down below. I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this video. If you would be so kind as to leave a like, I would be most appreciative. You can also show your support for the channel by subscribing for more content, as well as clicking the bell icon so that you can be notified of all future videos. If you'd like to support the channel further, then please consider heading over to my Patreon and making a donation. You can pledge as little as $1, and it would greatly help. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a great day, keep being awesome, and I'll see you all in the next video.